We have not seen anything for a long time from Cogwin Leo, the billionaire all-in Tesla stock investor. He's not really happy with Elon asking for more compensation. He reposted this. He's a corrupt leader who openly asked for $100 billion or he will stop working for Tesla. This is blackmailing. It is more ironic since he said he is not interested in money or power, just pure lies and malice from the supreme leader, Elon Musk. He has been absent from Tesla for a long time. There's definitely some gaslighting there because Elon Musk is not asking for more money, he's asking for more control of the company. Dylan shared some of his research showing that maybe it is possible to give Elon more voting rights without really giving Elon stock that's worth any money. Because Google went public in Delaware, and after going public, they created this new class of stock which gives you no voting rights. But he pointed out that maybe you can take away voting rights from new issued stock, but you cannot add voting rights, extra voting rights to newly issued stock when a new stock split is executed. A lot of refresh Model 3s were spotted at Fremont yesterday, so deliveries are definitely starting soon. In China, the refresh Model 3 just received really good safety ratings. It was of course expected, but it's really good to actually see it. I personally really like this. Tesla is enabling destination charging property owners to host self-serve demo drives directly at their properties. Tesla says you can get more out of your investment in Tesla destination charging by attracting new visitors, increasing awareness about EV charging at your properties, and creating future customers out of new EV owners. Tesla will provide the property owners with up to 4 Tesla demo drive vehicles. Tesla will schedule, manage, and maintain the self-serve demo drive appointments and vehicles for property owners at no cost. Current sites host an average of 35 demo drives per week. Tesla says you will have the opportunity to generate additional revenue from demo drives who utilize your on-site amenities during their visit. We have seen these self-serve demo experiments in Europe, and I guess they were successful because Tesla is expanding them. Now, I personally don't really like going to dealerships for test drives or even to Tesla showrooms, because I feel there's pressure. I'm talking to someone, and if I don't get the car, I feel like I seriously let someone down. And they tell me, okay, you can take the car for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes max. I feel that's not really enough time, and I'm rushed, so it makes the demo drive not as enjoyable. The last time I checked these demo drives, I think you were able to take your Tesla for up to an hour, anywhere you like. I think that's a good amount of time to do a thorough test drive. So someone like me is just more likely to go for a test drive then. If you want to host Tesla vehicles at your property, you can email Tesla here. Well, you don't really want to miss this piece of news. Tesla began purchasing cathode coils from 2 second-tier Chinese battery manufacturers in the second half of 2023 and shipping them to its Texas factory in the US to produce 4680 batteries. Cathode coils are a battery cell component that accounts for about 35% of the overall cell cost, the report noted. This practice of sourcing coils from China before making them into batteries could continue into the third quarter of this year, the report said, adding that a person close to Tesla said the EV maker's battery supplier Panasonic would not start production of 4680 cells until the third quarter. Tesla had hoped to source cathode coils from companies including CATL and BYD, but was turned down according to late post because they want Tesla to buy complete cells directly from them. But Tesla does not want to do that because if you can get partial 4680 batteries from China or just parts to make them, then Tesla can get the $7,500 rebates from the government. It is also costly to ship cathode coils from China to the US because coils require high sealing for transportation, special packaging, and need to be made into cells in a short period of time, as typical coils develop quality issues after sitting for about 1 week. Now, Tesla has been making 4680 cells, and it's been making some progress, but having this new information, it seems that the progress is a bit slower than the previously thought. On the flip side, this is incredibly smart because producing more 4680 batteries currently is extremely difficult. So if you can get parts made outside of the US, which will really increase your production much faster because you just need to do a lot less work, you will be able to scale your production so much faster, still get the rebate because you meet all of the criteria required. Electric writes that Tesla delays another pay adjustment as employees are unhappy with the last bump. Tesla told employees today that it will do another pay adjustment, a second in a few weeks, after employees expressed disappointment with the last one. But the automaker has now delayed the second pay increase, which is happening amid the CEO, Elon Musk, asking for a historic compensation package. So the timing of that whole conversation about Elon's increased compensation is not exactly great here. We also know that Tesla told salary employees that they will not be getting their normal stock compensation following their annual reviews. And here's what one Tesla employee told Electric about the impact of the reduced stock compensation. It's just one employee, but I think it's worth taking a look at it. This has had a severe impact with morale within the engineers at the company, since the increase in compensation has not made up for the amount inflation has gone up over the last year. There has been significantly more discussions at the bar between engineers about compensation than seen in the past, especially with a lot of high performers leaving for significantly higher pay by going to competitors. This is additional leaving holes in certain groups that have not been able to backfill. Newer employees also don't believe that their current starting equity will have the same explosion that those who have been with the company pre-2019 have seen. That's... yeah, of course. I can see why employees would think that. Before 2019, you could call Tesla a startup easily. Today, it's much more difficult to make that call. And before 2019, if you were a Tesla employee and you did something spectacular, you might actually end up seeing the inputs from yourself reflected in Tesla's valuation. But today, the company is so big that it's extremely difficult to see any of your work reflect in the stock price because the company is just so big. So it's not as much the case to, oh, okay, you are going to do really good work and your efforts will reflect in the stock price. No, it's more like, okay, you can try your best and it will be whatever it will be. Regardless of how well you do, you could do a terrible job and the outcome would still be the same pretty much, as long as you don't lose your job. Apparently, Tesla heard some of those concerns, and on January 1st, the company sent an email to employees letting them know that it will do another pay adjustment. Any adjustments that were already communicated will still go into effect on January 8th, and we will update you by January 15th on any additional changes. As always, Tesla is a pay-for-performance company, and employees must maintain good performance to be eligible for market adjustments. However, the January 15th deadline came, and employees did not receive an updated pay adjustment. Here's what Tesla said about the pay adjustment not going into effect. It's important to us that these decisions are made thoughtfully. So we will follow up in the next 2 weeks with information about what the market review means for you specifically. Now, if you think that this is somehow a new problem that Tesla has never experienced before, that Tesla has not successfully dealt with before, you have not studied Tesla's history, because from 2014 to 2019, for about 5 years, you could have held Tesla stock and lost money. Do you think there weren't some employees that realized that and said, oh, I'm out of here? So it sounds really bad when you read these emails, but I don't think it's really anything major here. It's something to pay attention to, certainly, but I don't think it's really a big deal. However, we can certainly make an argument that before, maybe it was a bit easier to get people to be motivated about Tesla's mission, because indeed, no one was really trying to transition to EVs. Now, all of these companies, some of them, many of them, understand, except Toyota, that they do need to transition to EVs. So if Tesla went bankrupt tomorrow somehow, the EV transition, I think, would still happen. But if Tesla went bankrupt in 2014, Yeah, I'm not sure about that. The transition would have been greatly delayed, I think. All of these things sort of balance each other, and I don't think that we are facing a situation that's worse than before. Because Elon before did say that the negative headlines about Tesla potentially going bankrupt was affecting Tesla's ability to recruit new people. I don't think we have a problem like that at all today. Robotics startup Figure said it has signed a partnership with BMW manufacturing to deploy its humanoid robots in the car maker's facility in the US. This will be interesting to watch. This is the same robot that can make coffee, so it's something that we should certainly watch and pay attention to. Now, if you haven't heard, Tesla's Optimus Bot also entered into a partnership with a certain company. The name of the company is Tesla. So I wouldn't expect Tesla to make any announcements like that because Tesla will be using the bot for itself first. Look at this inefficiency. The Biden administration today announced it is awarding nearly $115 million to 24 grant recipients in 20 states to repair or replace nearly 4,500 existing EV charging ports. Now that's a lot of money per one charger. $33,000? Looking at the information from 2022, we know that Tesla's superchargers cost no more than $43,000 per charger. And possibly these costs have improved by now, so you're giving money away to fix something. Well, in the meantime, for that same amount of money, you can have Tesla just build new ones that actually work and don't really break down, compared to how often all of these other chargers break down. And that money from the government would benefit Tesla and the public. Tesla superchargers are overwhelmed by new Uber drivers in New York City. This is after a new program enabled a lot of Tesla ride-sharing vehicles in the city. The city made 10,000 new EV licenses available to Uber and Lyft drivers. And yeah, that resulted in some lines. And it's not just one single location. You can see that the line is pretty long. And yeah, I think this is just a temporary problem, so nothing to really worry about, but currently, yeah, it's not a great situation. But I think that situation is extremely rare, and based on what Electric writes, the situation generally is okay. It's just if you are really unlucky, that's what you might face. And to mitigate the situation, Tesla announced yesterday that it implemented its new congestion fee at the local supercharger stations in New York City. The new congestion fee was first introduced by Tesla in November, and it consists of a new charge of $1 per minute when charging past 90%, because going from that 90% to 100, that takes forever. Well, not really, but it just takes so much longer. It is now officially official that the Tesla Model Y was the best-selling car overall in Europe in 2023. This is the first time an EV has ever achieved the #1 title. And soon we should hear confirmation that the Model Y was the world's best-selling vehicle. There's another Salvador Foundation serious invite email wave happening right now. I feel like this is not really news anymore because it's just happening almost every day now. We can now see which questions are likely going to be asked during the earnings call. I like this question. Given that you moved the start of the next generation compact vehicle production to Austin, has the timeline improved so that we might see next generation platform vehicles in 2025? My understanding is that Austin will have just a pilot production line. It's not going to actually have mass production capacity, but they could, in theory, change that at any time. The next most popular question is, should retail shareholders be concerned that Elon has stated he is uncomfortable expanding AI and robotics at Tesla if he doesn't have 25% of voting rights? I don't think there's much concern because I believe Elon will get another compensation package, unless there are somehow big major issues with that court case in Delaware. Next most popular question, can we get Tesla energy volumes reported in the P&D? I would expect to hear a Cybertruck update on the earnings call before the Q&A session, so this question might be a bit redundant. Does the company anticipate to grow at 50% in 2024 or 2025? If not, why not? In 2024, I certainly do not expect Tesla to grow 50% year over year. I think Elon has made that very clear in the last earnings call. I think we can still have at least one more year of 50% year over year growth though, when the next generation vehicle comes out. When will Tesla start construction on the Giga Nevada expansion and Giga Mexico, and when can we expect each of these to produce their first products such as 4680, Semi, and next generation vehicles? I really want to know the answer to this question, specifically about the Semi. I really want to know more about this. What has been the barrier to ramping 4680 cells into the multi-million cells per week rate, and when do you expect to get there? When will Optimus be deployed in Tesla's gigafactories? I would just like to hear a detailed Optimus update from the Tesla team. What are Tesla's biggest priorities for 2024, and when will FSD 12 roll out to the public? Based on the previous rumors, we might see FSD 12 roll out at the end of January to the public. I would also like to know more about Tesla's advertising and what Tesla is doing exactly. What are the preliminary results and return on investment of your ads and education campaign? Given that many people still lack awareness that Tesla average price is less than the average non-luxury car price of $45,000, will you expand educational ads? Now, this question I think I like the most, perhaps. Would Elon and others in Tesla do an interview with Rob Maurer of Tesla Daily? I definitely like this one. I definitely want to see. I know that Rob would do such a great job interviewing Elon, and Elon does interviews all the time anyway, so why just not let Rob interview Elon? And I know that Rob will ask some very specific questions that will be extremely relevant to us Tesla stock investors. It would not be just another generic Elon Musk interview. I like this question. Tesla appears to have hunkered down in 2023 due to recession fears. Are you going to continue to adopt a cautious capital spending posture in 2024, or are you going to greenlight more projects? But I think there's a good chance that Tesla will answer this before going into Q&A. I really like this idea. Instead of a new equity compensation plan, could Tesla acquire xAI and or SpaceX in order to bring additional AI expertise into Tesla while increasing Elon's voting control of the business? I want to invest in X, but it seems so difficult to do that I'm not sure if that will even happen. It's not too difficult to buy SpaceX shares, but yeah, I really wouldn't mind Tesla buying some X shares, although I think maybe some Tesla shareholders will not really be too happy with that, but I think the majority would go with it. There's a question here. Are you ever going to build a Tesla Roadster? I think it's coming. I think they finished the design last year. We are hearing rumors about it now, so I think something is happening. I don't think that question needs to be asked during the earnings call. I would just rather have the questions be about something that will actually make a difference in the Tesla's bottom line in the long term. The Roadster, it's nice to have, but is it going to make any difference in Tesla's financials in the next 10 years? I don't think so. We heard quite a bit about Tesla's superchargers being frozen in Chicago, but did you also hear about gas pumps freezing at Calgary gas stations here in Canada? Jim Cramer says it's looking to me like Tesla will be the first to fall and basically exit the Magnificent Seven. That sounds somewhat bullish to me.
There are a lot of people who have looked at your IPO who have told me, you know what, I'm not sure that this is a smart investment. Our own Jim Cramer yesterday said, I'm not sure that Tesla has a business plan that's going to work. It's not a smart investment. What do you say to the skeptics who look at where Tesla is, the money that you're raising, and they say, you know what, they've got a nice Roadster, but they don't have a good business plan?
Well, I think, Jim, I'd say, yeah, sure, Jim, we're no Bear Stearns, but I think we're going to do okay. Jim, I think, recommended Bear Stearns and Lehman and other things. So, frankly, he's a contraindicator.
That aged really well.
I think 95% of the price cuts in the rearview mirror. You can't continue to go down this path. That's why next week it's a get out to sort of popcorn. Everyone's focused on earnings. Have margins troughed, and do they uptick from here? We believe they have. That's going to be the key.
The next earnings call is going to be pretty interesting, I think, so I'm going to be listening to it very carefully. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching.